How can I make this nut roast sound exciting? Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Christmas time. I'm going to show you today how to make two show-stopping main courses that are simple to make, so tasty, going to blow your guests away. And even if you're cooking for non-vegans this Christmas, they're not going to miss meat with these recipes, I promise with you. Two recipes, one video. I've done a Christmas book, but here's two Christmas recipes anyway for you. Can't wait to start cooking. Christmas time, let's go. So the two recipes I'm going to be making today, the first one, I just wanted to show everyone at home or everyone that watched my videos that you can make nut roasts taste amazing. Loads of the ones that you get from like store-bought ones, they're bland, boring, they taste like cardboard. This one isn't like that. This is incredible, full of my favorite Christmas flavors. So that's the first one. And plus, we're going to make it into like a Christmas roast wreath. Christmas roast wreath, yeah, that's right. So it's going to look really Christmassy, garnished with beautiful ingredients, and it'll just look so Christmassy and beautiful. And the second one I'm going to do is a shallot tartare, and this one will really excite whoever you're cooking it for, especially when you turn it out of the pan. And it's quite risky too, so let's see if I can do it live in a recipe video. But anyway, nut roast wreath first. First up, we need to get a lovely base flavor ingredients cooking. So I'm going to get onion, garlic, leek, celery and aubergine chopped small and starting to sweat off in the saucepan. Next to the pan, add a cupful of chopped butternut squash. So with all cooking, especially vegan cooking, and especially at Christmas time, we want to make sure the food is as flavoursome as possible. So that's why I've got lots of ingredients in this base right now. Now I want to make it Christmassy, so I'm going to add some ground cinnamon and some ground allspice to the mixture. And then I'm going to chop up some sage. Sorry, just going to get some bad vibes away. And some rosemary, and get those into the mix as well. Add some salt and pepper to the mixture. Guys, it wouldn't be a festive Christmas vegan nut roast without the nuts. I'm going to chop up some chestnuts, vacuum packed chestnuts with my knife, and then also blitz up 1 cup of mixed nuts until they're like a breadcrumb-like consistency. So I've kept these chestnuts quite chunky because I like a bit of texture. I'm getting those in, and if you're allergic to nuts, you can still make this recipe. I would just replace nuts with some lentils, or I'm adding chickpeas as well into this mix for an extra bit of texture and protein and substantial bite that they're going to add. So you can add extra beans and also breadcrumbs and seeds as well you can add. So there's plenty of ways of making this a nut-free nut roast. So let's get the mixed nuts in too. Add around a cupful of chickpeas. So for some even more Christmassy flavour, add some chopped dried cranberries, some chopped dried apricots, and also for that umami flavour, I'm going to add some chopped sun-dried tomatoes. Now these lovely dried fruits and tomatoes are going to add great flavour, and you can just chuck them in a blender and blitz them up, but I like to have a nice variety of chunks running through the nut roast, so I've hand done it. But these go straight in now, and then we mix it all together. Next to the pot, to help the mixture bind, I'm going to add half a cup of gluten-free breadcrumbs. Okay guys, it's taking shape now. There's a lot of ingredients I know, but it's Christmas. You need to make that extra effort and to get that amazing flavour. To get some even more bold, beautiful flavors into it. I'm now going to add some orange, the juice and the zest of an orange, some balsamic vinegar, some Marmite, some miso paste and some nutritional yeast, which is an optional ingredient, but you can find that at all good vegan supermarkets. Guys, the smells, oh, I can't even explain it. They smell so Christmassy, umami, beautifulness. I've got my lightly greased wreath round tin. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's a round tin. Got it from Amazon, to be honest with you. If you just type in wreath Christmas tin, you'll find something like this. But you can use a loaf tin, you can use whatever baking dish you want to use really, but it looks so beautiful, and especially once we've garnished it. So now what we need to do is compact as much of this filling or all of it into the mold as best as you can. What I really love about this recipe, that now that this has to go in the oven and roast, all the squash will just melt and it will just bind everything together, and it just turns into the most incredible roast ever. I'm just using the back of this spoon to compact everything in as much as I can, and that will help it bind even more. The flavors and the smells are just awesome. Okay, so voice over that cartouche. How will I do that now? Grab a sheet of greaseproof paper that's big enough. Grab a sheet of this is going to take me ages. Grab a sheet of Grab a sheet of greaseproof paper that's big enough to fit over the mold, then fold it in half, and then half. Guys, I'm trying to do a voiceover to explain how to do a cartouche, but I don't know how to do it. So just watch how I do it, because I can't do the voiceover, but it's simple. I just can't explain how to do it. There you go. This is gonna go in the oven now for 35 minutes to roast. And you can actually do this 2 days, 3 days, 4 days prior to the actual Christmas day. So this can go in the fridge covered, and then when you wanna roast it on Christmas Day, you just put it in 45 minutes before you wanna serve it. Obviously it's cold, it's fridge cold, so it needs a little bit longer to roast. And then your Christmas roast is done. How simple is that? Let's get it in the oven. Use my antibacterial spray. No. Ellie's on a rampage today. So the nut roast, that's playing it down a bit. The most incredible, ultimate Christmas festive vegan nut roast wreath is done. I'm gonna get out the oven now, and hopefully it comes out the mold perfectly and we have no hiccups. Sometimes when you're filming, some things kind of go wrong, but fingers crossed it comes out perfectly. It does usually, so let's get it out. Oh, it smells good. Let's get it out. Wow, look at that. Smells amazing, but it's gonna look even better when we turn it out. So you've got to let it chill or let it rest just for 5 minutes, and in the meantime you can prepare some toppings. I've made my homemade cranberry sauce, which is in my Christmas cookbook. This recipe is in my Christmas cookbook too. I made a vegan Christmas cookbook last year, so go and get that now if you want the full written recipe. However, I've got it on my website too, but this is filled with over 70 Christmas recipes. So I'm gonna do my toppings, I'm gonna fry off some sage, and I'm gonna get my cranberry sauce ready, then turn this out of the mold. Look at that color. Smells like oranges. Who's excited to see this nut roast come out of this mold? Can we do this? Please, please, please. Let me get my presentation board, Ellie. Thank you. Ooh. Yes. If your wreath comes out slightly rustic, don't worry, because you're going to top it with this beautiful cranberry sauce all around. So in my cranberry sauce, there's orange in there as well. and lots of sweetness in there too, so it's not very tart, so this is going to work perfectly with this. And as well as the cranberry sauce, we've got our crispy sage to go on top, and I've also dried some oranges too. Garnish with some pistachio nuts and a little bit of rosemary. And there we go, guys, there's my first centerpiece, my beautiful festive nut roast wreath. Look how good that looks. It looks like it should be hanging on someone's front door at Christmas time. This recipe is a favourite of my family's. We have it most years at Christmas time, one of the centerpieces anyway. I also do a vegan turkey as well, which is in the Christmas book and on my YouTube channel. I put it on my YouTube channel last year. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking so much, because I just really want to taste this again. It brings back so many Christmas memories. Let's grab a plate and cut a slice. Look at that. Holds together perfectly, can be carved at the table. Festive nut roast wreath. It's quite a hard one to say. Let me taste this. Tastes so savoury and sagey and Christmassy, and not that sweet, which is good considering we've added all those dried fruits. But the sweetness comes from the cranberry on top, which just works perfectly. This is an amazing Christmas centerpiece. That's your first one. That's my nut roast festive wreath. I'm gonna now make the most incredible show-stopping shallot tarte tatin. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere! Okay, so the next show-stopping Christmas main course for your vegan Christmas dinner tables, shallot tarte tatin. This dish is unbelievable, and if you get it right and you turn it out of the pan, a shallot tarte tatin, let me tell you what a tarte tatin is first. It's a French dish, it's a French pie essentially, that's made in a pan, and it's basically cooked upside down, so when you turn it out, it reveals the amazing topping, which is shallots. And we're gonna cook the shallots in lovely balsamic vinegar, brown sugar with some herbs, some brandy. This is gonna be unbelievable. So first up, you need to peel and half your shallots whole. Right, so I've just peeled and topped and tailed the shallots. Now we need to roll out the pastry so that it's big enough to fit in this pan essentially. Okay, so guys, this is just ready rolled puff pastry from the supermarkets. Most of them are vegan, just double check you're not getting a all butter pastry. And this is great because it saves you from spending hours in the kitchen making puff pastry, which is therapeutic and fun, but on Christmas Day you don't always have that amount of time. So you just want to roll this big enough to fit inside the frying pan. Now we need to cut a big circle. So there's the pastry done. Now I'm just going to get my shallots cooking in an oven-proof frying pan, a heavy base one if possible, in a little bit of vegan margarine. I'm also going to add a little olive oil too. Add the shallots cut side up. Cook the shallots around 3 to 4 minutes before sprinkling over some brown sugar. So the brown sugar's going on now, and that's going to melt and turn into the caramel. And I've got to flip these over now so it really glazes up these amazing shallots. That's the colour you want there. Get the rest of this sugar over the top. So Obviously this is quite sugary right now, so you want to counteract that by adding some salt. That's going to really bring out the flavours in those shallots too, and some pepper. This smells absolutely amazing. The sugar is caramelised, it's mixing with the margarine, and it's becoming just like that beautiful caramel that we need in a tarte tatin. Tarte tatins are often made with apples, pears, fruits really, like hard fruits is best. You do it with banana too actually, which is really nice. Now and then they're made with savoury things like onions. So I'm going to add some brandy actually to this now, which goes so well with shallots. You may see a few flames, maybe not. Just want to let that reduce down until it's nice and thick. I'm also going to add some balsamic vinegar too. Some beautiful flavours. Turn the heat up and let that reduce down. Okay, so that's nicely reduced down now. More caramelly than ever. How many times am I going to say caramelly in this recipe? I'm not going to say take a shot every time I say it, because you'll be drunk by the end of it. Anyway, it's fresh thyme. Just some sprigs, some leaves dropped in there. Good way of getting the leaves off if you just hold them and pull them back. Thyme, shallots, balsamic, brandy, they work so well together. And a little bit of rosemary too, just broken over. It's a very rustic dish. So the caramel is thickened, it's ready to go in the oven, but first obviously we have to put the pastry on the top. You have to be very careful when you do this. It's a very hot pan and the caramel, sugar melted, is so hot, so please be careful. But look, let's do this now. So now that the pastry's in, I'm just using my hands just to press it into all the crevices. There's a nice word for you. Carefully though, because the pan is very hot. There we go. You want to just get your knife and just prick a few holes in it. Now that goes into your oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, but I'll keep an eye on it. Don't forget, these recipes are in my Christmas cookbook and I'll put them on my website too, but if you want a recipe book full of 70 vegan Christmas recipes, go and get that now, and signed copies are on my website. So let's get it out the oven, let's see. Oh wow, look at that. Okay guys, here it is. Here's the tarte tatin. We need to now turn it out, and this is the part where you would ask your dinner guests to sit down, get ready for it, and they'll watch you turn it out. But it is a bit nerve-wracking. We can do it. Come on. Put my plate on top. Remember, the pan is very hot, so still keep the gloves on. And look at that. You didn't doubt me for a second, did you? Look at how beautiful that looks. That is my shallot tarte tatin. Woo! I fully thought that wasn't coming up. Look at the beautiful shallots. I was a bit nervous when I was turning that out then, but why did I doubt myself? I don't know. But look at it. Look at the lines, perfectly caramelized, crunchy pastry, and the shallots, the juices that they would have released whilst they were cooking in the oven, would have soaked into that pastry. I get so excited about food like this. Rustically beautiful, my shallot tarte tatin. Like a proud dad. Okay guys, let's cut this open. Did you hear that crunch? Look at that. Guys, you have to admit, when you just turn that out in front of your guests on Christmas Day, they're gonna be blown away. So you've got to try this. And let me just confirm that it tastes amazing. Should have used a knife and fork. That is amazing. oniony, caramelly, thymy. Oh, just too good. Like the flavors are perfect in my mouth with the crunchy pastry as well. Have to try that. 2 show-stopping main courses for you for Christmas time or any special occasion. Don't forget that my Christmas book is out and you can get a signed copy from my website, so you could get one as a Christmas present, I guess. And I've also got loads of Christmas recipes on my YouTube channel, so thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support that you've given me this year. And I've got a few more Christmas recipes coming out over the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for those. Make sure you're subscribed. When I hit 1 million subscribers, I'll announce where my first restaurant's going to be. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Definitely need a night before eating this. Right then, come on, Gaz. Come on, Gaz! Let's go. Oh my God, look how beautiful that is.
Andy, drop my camera.
Jeez.